Hello NAFL, this is not Boss Man, and welcome to the Monday Night Coverage Fun Time show. That's what you came up last. Sorry folks, we are still working on the title, but don't worry about it, we will fix that later. So here we are people, Monday night, and it is knocking on Billy's door. While the Ravens are still trying to pick up the pieces themselves of their season. The Eagles are having some struggles of their own though. Noted week 13, fourth quarter, ring a bell. They still find themselves though only one game out of a wild card spot. So how important is this game? Well, for that we look toward the NFL score. Really. Wow. Nice graphic, guys. Top notch. Anyway, this score, it rates the game's impact not on the two teams that are going in only, but like on the whole league. And on a scale of 1 to 10, this tips the scales at a 6. Because this late in the season, there are lots of teams that are going to be rooting for Zulo and the Ravens to continue their winning ways and knock the Shaka out of Johnny and his Eagles. We go now live to the hotline where Johnny Shaka himself is going to wait for us to have some questions. Maybe he'll answer them for us. Johnny, do we have you? Okay, it does sound like we do have Johnny Shaka on the phone. Thanks, Johnny, for calling into the show. Now, the last 4 seasons, your team has put up double-digit wins, with 3 of those seasons earning playoff bids. With the Eagles hovering around the 500 mark, what's caused this streaky play this season?
I think our streakiness this year has more to do with teams improving around us. For example, you got the Dallas Cowboys, who acquired a top-shelf QB along with a top-end wide receiver, and we have to play them twice a season. And then you look at our schedule, with earning a bye last season, definitely earned us one of the tougher schedules. And I don't think we've got the dice rolls we seem to have gotten over the years. Despite winning a few games this season, we probably shouldn't have won. I think we've probably lost a few more than when we would have probably won them last year. Add to that a couple of key injuries, one to one of our starting wideouts, in Herb Hubel, and then our starting tight end, whose career has probably come to an end here after this devastating injury he had happen last season. So I guess it's probably a combination of factors.
Okay, but with that said, the Eagles are still in the playoff hunt. Now, who in your mind is the one guy you're going to have to lean on down the stretch to make this playoff run happen?
Without question, it's got to be Paul Sullivan. Quarterback is obviously the most important position on most football teams. Despite our heavy focus on the run, it still revolves around Sullivan. If he has a bad game, 9 times out of 10 we're going to lose. So he's shown he can throw it with the best of them. Throw up 300 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns. But he's also prone to those 7 for 21 games, where he throws for 75 yards and a pick or 2. Obviously, those have to be eliminated, especially at the important time of the season here when we're down to the last 4 or 5 games. So I can see him leading this group. You got guys like Morrison and Wright who can definitely pick up the slack every once in a while if he struggles a little bit. But for the most part, he's going to have to be at the top of his game if we're going to make it to the playoffs.
This Monday night, you're hosting a Super Bowl caliber team and GM in Zulo and the Ravens, who are scraping along the bottom of the AFC North with Rob in the Steelers, which I hear is worse than scraping the bottom of an adult movie theater. Besides that point, who scares you more? Brady Marvin or Tito Schneider? Or Zulo?
Boy, is there a hotter team than the Ravens right now? 5 straight wins after an 0-7 start. They're back into the mix in their division. It's a long shot still, but definitely give themselves a chance. And coming into this one, facing Brady Marvin, who's been great while he's been playing. He's had some injury issues this season. And Tito Snyder, 13 touchdowns on the ground. That's pretty ridiculous. But the thing is, you can't really focus on trying to shut down one of them because you've got guys like Wolf and Gibson who are going to tear you a new one if you concentrate on Tito too much. And if you try and shut down the passing game, Tito's going to run wild. So you pretty much have to stay conservative. And I think that's probably what we're going to do.
Okay, Johnny Shaka. One real quick question before you go, though. Most important one in the show. Snoop Dogg, favorite song, go.
Oh, good old Snoop. I'll be honest, I'm not much of a hip-hop fan. So I'll have to say Gin and Juice, and that's probably due to Fish doing a cover of Gin and Juice a few years back. I'm not a huge Fish fan, but more than likely going to hear something from Fish than I'm going to hear from Snoop.
All right, Johnny. On that note, thanks. Good luck, but watch your butt if the AFC North is in town. Now, this game looks like it could come down to the last play. But with that said, my prediction that the Ravens will come in on a 5-game heater and leave town with a 6-pack as the Ravens take down the Eagles 28-20. Now, before I leave you, it is time for Not Boss Man's Monday Night Movie Pick. Whoopee. Anyway, today's pick is going to be Orgasmo, the telling story of one man's struggle to marry his loving wife in the church that he wants to, while saving the world from vicious porn people. Meow. If you've seen it, you'll get it. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. I am not Boss Man, saying, can you feel it, baby? I can't.
Yeah. Can you feel it, baby?